Good morning, everyone. Congratulations and welcome to Macquarie. You guys all got here for 9 a.m. on a Friday, so well done. I know it's a tough ask. Welcome to your International Student Transition, Arrival and Readiness talk. Now, just by a show of hands, do we have any local students in here? No, everyone's an international student? Good stuff. And who arrived today? Welcome. Have the rest of you all enjoyed orientation so far this week? Yes? No, you're all looking at me like I have two heads. And just checking, no one's attended this session on Monday or Thursday last week? No? Good, okay, because I'd hate for you to sit through the exact same thing again. So to kick off our proceedings today, I would like to welcome Amelia from Warra Warra, who's going to give the acknowledgement of country. Thank you, Amelia.
Thanks, Cassie. Okay. Jingi Walla, Yama Warami. Hello, my name is Amelia Kaur and I am a proud Bangjalung woman. Bangjalung is one of the many Aboriginal nations which make up Australia, one of 250 different Aboriginal nations that we have in this country. And it's located on the Queensland and New South border along the east coast of Australia. And I also have connections through Dharawal, Cooma, Yorta Yorta, Wiradjuri and Darug countries. So I would like to acknowledge that today we stand in footsteps millennia old. Footsteps amongst the oldest continuing cultures in human history. We meet upon the lands of the Watamatical clan of the Darug Nation, whose cultures and customs have nurtured and continue to nurture this land since the Dreamtime. I pay my respects to the Darug people. I also wish to acknowledge the elders of the Darug Nation, Daya Yilbara Ba, past, present and future, and pay my respects to them. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal elders, past, present and future. I further wish to honour and pay respects to the ancestors and spirits of this land, and humbly ask that all here today are granted with the capacity to wingara, to think and learn and to walk safely upon this pemel, this land. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's an important part of our Australian culture. So you might hear at the beginning of any important functions while you're here at Macquarie, either an acknowledgement to country or a welcome to country, which is usually performed by an Aboriginal elder from the land on which we stand. So thank you, Amelia. I now am very honoured to present Larry Anderson from Macquarie International, who's here to welcome you to Australia.
Thank you, Cassie. My name's Larry Anderson. I work in the International Office at Macquarie University. Welcome. Everyone happy to be here? Just a show of hands, who's from Europe? Okay. Who's from Latin America? Okay. North America? Asia? Okay. Indian subcontinent? And Middle East? Okay, all right. That's good. You're all incredibly lucky to have such a diverse group of students here. I just want to address three issues today to keep it quite simple. The first one is what we call social inclusion. Simply that means that you have an opportunity when you come to a new country and a new university to not only meet students from other countries and other markets, but also to try to make friends with local students. I was once an international student in South Korea. So I was born in Sydney, but I went to Seoul, South Korea, many years ago. So I have some understanding about moving into a different market, not speaking the language, not understanding the culture. So I have empathy and understanding about some of the issues that you confront. But one of the important lessons that I learnt then and that I've learnt since I've been working at Macquarie, it's very important to build your network. All too often what happens is that students from different markets arrive in Australia and quite understandably they hang out with other students from the same country. They end up speaking their home language. they end up sharing apartments together, and they end up dating each other. And this can go on for 3 or 4 years, and then by the time they graduate, their experiences with other international students or local people is quite at a minimum. So it defeats the whole purpose of coming abroad. So I actively encourage you to reach out to new people. Don't be shy about introducing yourself, and try to build a network, because ultimately it's the network that you build here which will determine your future. Many of the students and friends you make will return back to Europe, Middle East, Africa, China, North America, and they could be your new business partners in the future. They could be potentially your employer in the future. So don't be shy about building new relationships and leveraging those. The other issue I want to talk about is employability. You arrive here today to start to learn and to complete a degree, but it's also the first day of unemployment. And I mean by when you graduate from here, all too often what happens is students start looking for a job. What you really need to be doing now is start looking for a job today. And what I mean is that you need to familiarise yourself with what's going on in the labour markets in your own countries. You need to familiarise yourself with what's going on in the labour market in Australia and elsewhere, because we study to find work, mostly, not all of us, but most of us do, and that process begins today. That includes building all your soft skills in terms of your ability to network, critical thinking, teamwork, all those sorts of things employers are looking for. There's an expectation when you graduate that you have the skills from your qualification, but employers are saying all too often international students are turning up in interviews that their English language proficiency skills are not of high quality, their ability to work within a team is undercooked, their ability to apply critical thinking and deliver solutions is underdeveloped, and kids aren't getting jobs. So I encourage you to develop those skills starting from today. Again, reach out to people, join community groups, join sporting groups, network with as many people as you can, explore what the employment opportunities are, and understand what your visa obligations allow. You're able to work 20 hours a week. You're able to work unlimited hours during your holidays. On graduation, depending if you're doing a undergraduate, postgraduate, there's something called post-study work rights, which allows you to stay in Australia for 2 to 3 to 4 years. These are all great things, but they're only good if you're able to present yourself to an employer in a way that you're credible and you're able to deliver some upside for an employer. So think about that while you're here, and think about it every day is my recommendation, because there are a lot of international students in the market at the moment who have graduated who are unemployed, and it is a big problem. So don't find yourself at the end of a 3 or 4 year course being unemployable. And the other issue, and the last issue, is about safety. Very, very important. Use your common sense. Apply the same kind of awareness and skills that you would apply in your own market. And just be aware that Australia is a big country. Sydney is a big city. Mostly we have good apples here, but like in every big city, there's a few bad apples, so be aware. I spoke to the New South Wales Police recently, and the 2 biggest items or issues that international students bring to the local police force are about work exploitation. So make sure if you do get a part-time job or a full-time job, you're not being exploited, so just be mindful about what your rights are. And that sort of information can be available through career services. The police can't deal with these matters. They generally refer these kind of issues on to other agencies, but I'm just highlighting the issues that the police are confronted with. And the second issue is accommodation exploitation. Okay, so just be aware if you're signing a lease for an apartment or you're moving into a share accommodation, just be mindful about what the person's expectations are and what your rights are. And again, the police can't really deal with these matters. They generally refer them to our other agencies. But I just I'd highlight those 2 things, so just be very mindful about those issues around employment and accommodation. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you around campus, and just have heaps of fun, learn and prepare yourself for the labour market in 3 to 4 years. Good luck.
So that was a bit full on, but don't worry, all the services that Larry's just spoken about, you're actually going to hear from them throughout this session today. So that's exactly why we had Larry up first, to flag all the important things with you. But ultimately, as he said at the end, we hope you really, really enjoy your time here and have a lot of fun. So I now would like to present you to the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bruce Doughton, and he's going to welcome you himself.
Hello, I'm Bruce Doughton, the Vice-Chancellor and President of Macquarie University. I'm sitting here in the empty Macquarie University Theatre. In a short period of time, this environment and the whole campus will be abuzz with new and returning students. I would like to welcome you one and all to Macquarie University, those students returning, but particularly to our new students. I remember when I first started my university studies. There was some anxiety, there was also a sense of excitement of something new, something different, and something to look forward to. Whether you are returning or whether this is your first journey in higher education, I bid you all welcome. Macquarie University is a terrific institution. We have an amazing array of programs both in the classroom and outside the classroom, here on campus, and outreach into the City of Sydney, Australia, and across the world. You will have many opportunities to explore the things that you are interested in, and it is our hope that we will play a key role in helping you all to pursue your dreams as you join us at Macquarie University. Welcome aboard to one and all.
So now you know what the Vice-Chancellor looks like. He's always got a very distinctive bow tie on, and normally he does have lunch in the campus hub building. Does everyone know where that is yet? It's right in the middle of campus. You can't miss it. Don't worry, we'll take you there later today. And make sure if you see him to say hello, introduce yourself. He loves meeting our new students. So now you've met the Vice-Chancellor. And now I'd like to welcome Freya, who's going to talk to you about life here as a student. Thank you, Freya.
All right. G'day, everyone. I'm Freya, and I'm currently in my third year at Macquarie. I'm studying biology, environment, and politics. And I'm here today to share a few pearls of wisdom in my humble 3 years at Macquarie about how to make your time here the best it possibly can be, a couple of the challenges you'll face, and where to go when you need help. So yesterday morning, actually, I picked up my very jet-lagged twin sister from the airport. She's also in her third year at Macquarie. We're both doing politics, which is very confusing in tutorials. And she just got back from half a year studying in England. And so moments before sleep, took her in the car and she crashed out in the back seat, mouth open and just dead to the world. She told me something. She said studying abroad was one of the hardest things she's ever done, but was definitely the most rewarding. I got through halfway through her camera roll, and it was just fantastic, some of the stuff she got up to. So whether it's your first year at university or your last semester, life as a student is such a unique experience. You'll be challenged in so many ways, not just academically. In this time, you'll probably master the art of cooking microwavable food. Meagering is a blessing. And you will definitely beat your world record in racing to a tutorial after you sleep through your alarm. But silly things aside, it does take a great deal of courage to venture out into the great unknown. But fear not, because you're in very good hands here at Macquarie. Just a little bit before I start, I'm the Science and Engineering representative for the SAB, which is the Student Advisory Board. This is a relatively new initiative by Macquarie, and it's basically an intermediate body between Macquarie government and the students. So we act, so we make and advise policies that will help make your time at Macquarie the best thing possible. So there's an undergraduate, are most of you undergrads or postgrads? A little bit. So there's undergrad representatives, postgrad, and you'll also have someone from your faculty. So if you've got any problems with anything at all, feel free to give us a contact. Just Google SAB and our website's up on Google. No worries. So getting straight into it, with your academics, This is probably a broken record repeating, but staying on top of your work really will make your time at Macquarie the best thing possible. It's the best way to ensure a stress-free time, and especially if this is your first time here, by starting your assessments earlier, it means you've got a little bit more leeway if you've got any questions to ask a unit convener, but also if you want to do an impromptu trip with your friends, you've got time to make that. If you're struggling with any aspect of the topic, there are so many ways you can get back on track. Your lecturers will have a specific time slot in which you can consult with them. It's usually about once a week, and they're more than happy to help. If you're taking statistics or maths, I started out in physics and I'm doing biology now, but there was an amazing part of uni. It's called the Numeracy Centre, and it's basically a bunch of dedicated students, and they'll sit down personally with you and nut out any problems. I was definitely a regular there. Bringing Tim Tams is always a positive thing. No worries. Now with your social life, one of the things I love about Macquarie Uni is how easy it is to get involved in campus life. If you've been wandering around uni in the past week, I'm sure you will have seen the countless student groups available to join in. This is a great way to meet with people who have similar interests to you. And just like Larry was saying, one of the things that makes life as a student so special and unique is just how culturally rich and diverse campus life can be. Chatting to a couple of previous international students, one of their biggest regrets was just not joining in with the larger campus life. Living away from home can be daunting, and it's natural to seek comfort with other students from the same country. Sure, if I was abroad, I would definitely seek out other Australians who could help reminisce and appreciate Vegemite for what it truly is, which is an excellent spread. You should definitely all try it when you're here. And going out of your comfort zone and expanding your horizons will undoubtedly bring out the confidence within yourself, which will transcend this short time you're with us. I'm not sure if you've had the buddy program, probably. But if it's seeming a little bit overwhelming, it's an excellent place to start. You'll be joined with a mix of enthusiastic, both international and domestic students who will help ease your transition into fully submersing yourself in student life. There's so many events and outings available to join in, and they cover well past uni life, teaching you what's the best way to get around Sydney, best places to go for a drink. It's really good. So I definitely recommend the buddy program. But with so much going on, it's sometimes easy to forget to look after the most important thing, which is yourself. Physically, Macquarie boasts a very impressive and affordable gym and sporting clubs with team pride to rival that of Warriors. If you've seen the shirtless man walking around with the crazy wig, it looks like he's from the 80s, that is the Macquarie, and there's a reason we're called the Macquariers, because it's pretty, the team chants, just phenomenal. But I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your mental well-being. So your well-being is one of Macquarie's top priorities, and there are so many services available to support and help you. And there's a team of dedicated counsellors who will guide you through any challenges you may face or link you to the places that can. I think there's a talk a little bit later about the wellbeing services, so definitely pay attention to that. If you're a bit behind on your work, there are academic study planners that will sit down and sort yourself out, and so just so you can achieve great marks, but also so you can enjoy your time studying here. Just before I finish up, I'd like to give you a couple of pointers that I've learned at my time at Macquarie. So firstly, if you've got any questions, head into the Muse building, about halfway through Wally's Walk. Look for the people in the yellow t-shirts, and any questions, they will just take you anywhere. They're absolutely fantastic. The best point for PowerPoints is the study space in Muse, and there's also a lot of bean bags there, so definitely would recommend that. The chips are best at Press Cafe, which is just across from U-Bar. They're amazing, but definitely worth the wait. And on a clear day, there's nothing like catching up on some readings sitting by the lake, but watch out because the ducks will steal your chips. There's some big ones, and they will go for it. So finishing up, this is just the start of an unforgettable journey in your lives. And to take anything away from today is that all you need to do is ask. There's a mountain of opportunities or support waiting, and all you need to do is just take that first step. So be brave, as nothing can substitute experience. And I hope to see you around campus next week. Cheers.
So a big thank you to Freya. She's actually been away all break on a practical, so she made the effort to come in today on her very last day of holidays to present to you. And I hope you'll realise that Freya is a great example of the students here on campus. you know, Macquarie is a really, really friendly place, and we hope that if you haven't had the chance to meet anyone yet, after today, you definitely will. So Freya also touched on the Buddies program. Is anyone planning to stay later today for the Aussie barbecue and movie marathon and trivia? Yeah, it's going to be right in here. So if you don't have any plans for this afternoon, stick around. You can meet some of the great buddies, also watch some great Australian movies. I'd now like to welcome Nick Cummins, who's going to talk to you about studying in Australia and your visa.
Hello. It's nice to meet you. How is everyone else in the room? Hello, everyone else. Hey, there we go. Just a heads up, while you're here at Macquarie, people will ask you lots of questions and then they will awkwardly stare at you until you say something. So just be prepared with some sort of nod, some sort of smile. We're very friendly. So that's one of the important things. Part of my exciting presentation is about your visa conditions. Yay. So it's not that exciting, but part of this idea is that one of the things we have to do, and we think it's very important that we do as well, is to teach you a little bit about the culture. Australian culture is very different. It's very confusing as well. You will be confused, I guarantee you, but hopefully I can help you through some of these things. And with that, I introduce you to my colleagues who can also help you through some of these things. So, as Cassie mentioned, my name is Nick or Nicholas. We shorten everything here, so my 26-syllable name is now 4 or 1, and then it just gets into N. So, be aware for that. If you have a long name, we will shorten it. Don't be alarmed, it's nothing against you, it's just we're quick about things, really. So this is my service, the advocacy service. If you're not sure what the word advocacy means, it means representative. We represent you as students, we look after you, we advise you, and we guide you through the university's sometimes complicated processes. As you can imagine, if you filled in your application form, there are about 10,000 questions and you had to do, 10,000 documents. Yeah, some things are complicated. Our job is to help you through those processes. So we represent you, we're independent, we're free. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, free. So if you need any help or support while you're on campus, or you're not sure what you should be doing, or immigration sent you a letter and you don't know what it means, come talk to us. We will help you out. We are your official contact points as international students. So the government says the university must have a contact point. We are your contacts. So we are in building C8A. That means it's in the centre of campus. I'm not sure if anyone's explained that to you. We have a number of building codes. C stands for centre, funnily enough. W stands for west, E stands for east. You'll get used to it, but if you just vaguely remember that, that will help you navigate the campus. We've got a phone number, but it's also all in the information packs you'll get later today, so you don't need to write it down. Just remember advocacy, student advocacy, or campus wellbeing. They're all the names we go by. I've got a diagram here of your life cycle as a student. Now, why is the advocate talking to me about how I'm going to be feeling? Because it is very important to, as we say, get the elephant out of the room. You are here for probably at least 3 years, some of you maybe 2, some maybe 4. You will start your journey, your life cycle, feeling pretty positive. Is everyone feeling good today? Some of you, okay. Is anyone feeling terrible today? No? Good. Excellent. Tick. Good. We haven't messed up yet. So that's great. It's great to hear that you're all feeling good today, because that's normal. You will feel good, and it's important that you feel good. Over time, however, challenges will happen. You'll get a bad mark on your assessment, or maybe you'll just have a really crappy week. Something may not work right, or maybe you'll get news from home, and it's not good news. These sorts of things will happen the longer you're here, and that's natural. So it's important to acknowledge your journey will be different, and it will change, and you won't feel so good. But there are support services to help you through that, and as part of a natural process, you will start adjusting to your life here in Australia. You will get used to our weird accents and our funny names. You will get used to us changing the word good day to g'day, and a weird accent, which I'll talk about in a second. So it's important to know that life does get better, it always does, and there's lots of help and support to help you through that journey. So here's my important Australian slide. As you'll see, we have an accent. It can be confusing. We will say normal words with an accent and they won't make any sense. So welcome. As Larry mentioned at the start, your English skills are critical. They're critical for employment. They're critical for your studies. Some of you may say, oh look, I passed the IELTS test. I got my 6.5 or my 7. That was pretty good. The academic English you may find quite challenging as well. So it's really important that you keep up your English skills, that you keep practicing speaking in English with other people, you practice writing and reading, challenge your friends. If they start talking in your home language, talk to them in English and say, no, let's use English. I guarantee you, I have a lot of friends from Europe whose first language is not English, and the only way to improve is through that practice. As I mentioned, the accent can be confusing and our humour is very different. We have what's called self-depreciating humour, and that means we make fun of ourselves. So quite often, if you are from, say, certain parts of Asia where you have a very long name, Australians, they might start trying to pronounce it and then kind of give up and laugh at themselves. They're not laughing at you or your name, they're kind of laughing at ourselves because we can't pronounce it. That's one of the things we do in Australia. We always make fun of ourselves. So just be aware, it's not you, it's us. And you can have a laugh along with us. If at any point you don't understand why someone is doing something, ask them. It's okay to ask. We encourage you to ask. That's important for me as a staff member. It's important for someone in the street. Just ask. We're happy to answer. Just a tip, especially if you're from different Asian countries, often we will switch your names. So if your family name might be Z, we will make it your at the other end. So we will call you different things, and if you've seen our application forms, we normally put your given name or your personal name and then your family name. Just be aware of that because you'll wonder why we're calling you different names. So it's not that we are very formal and we always talk to you by your family name, it's because we've switched them around. So just another thing. And finally, cultural differences. So we call things differently. Who's my North Americans here? Yeah. So do you know what a capsicum is? Pepper. A pepper, yes, is what you call at home. We call them a capsicum. Why? I don't know. But that's what we do. We change the names of things. Yeah, it's a standard thing. If you look up the word pineapple, 26 different languages across the world, you call it ananas. Ananas, or ananasi if you speak Tamil. We call it a pineapple. I don't know, blame the British. It's just what happened. So just be aware, these things which are very normal to you, we may call it something different, we probably have it. That's again all part of getting used to the Australian culture. This was a question and answer thing, but it's a really easy test, as you can see, because the answers are already there. So one of the things I've got there, Larry mentioned you can work 20 hours a week. One thing I wanted to clarify, it's actually 40 hours a fortnight, so every 2 weeks, which means that you could do 40 hours in 1 week and 0 hours in the next week. So you can divide it up, which is great, and we encourage you all to obviously get a job, get some money. One thing I like to mention, especially to our internationals, is how much time we expect you to study. Now, as you can see in the second question there, how many subjects do you need to take? You need to take 4 subjects. What does 4 subjects mean for you in terms of hours per week? Well, Macquarie uses a very simple equation. We say for every credit point you take, now if you're an undergrad, that'll be 12, I know, because that's what it works out to be. For every credit point, you need to do 3 to 4 hours study. So 3 to 4 hours times 12, you're looking at 36 to 40 hours of study per week. If you add 20 hours of paid work on top of that, you're working double what I work, and I'm not studying. So just keep that in mind. We do encourage you to work, but just keep in mind, because if you crush yourself with a lot of work, you'll be very stressed and you won't have a good time and you won't have a chance to do all the other lovely things here. When do you need to update your address? You will have a wonderful thing which you've probably used already called eStudent. Has everyone seen or heard of eStudent yet? I'm seeing some nods. Excellent. It's okay. You can scream out, "Yes, Nick, I've seen the eStudent." It's okay. I'll be cool with it. So eStudent is your central administration system. When do I graduate? When do I fill things in? It's all through eStudent. You need to update your address. It's very important you update your address there, because if your parents ring us and say, "Where is my child?" and we'll say, "I think they're still in China. Are they in China? No, they're not with you. Ah, okay, that's awkward. So remember, update your address. We need to know if the government has any questions for immigration. They will also try to reach you at that address, so make sure you've updated it. And it says there, you need to update within 7 days of moving. So if you're really fancy and you're in a hotel at the moment, we need to know you're in that hotel. When you move out of that hotel, we need to know where you're now moving. So you get 7 days to do that. That's very important. How long do you have to finish your course? Who's here for 3 years? Anyone? I see a couple of hands. 2 years? Lots of you. All right, cool. So basically, that's how long you have to finish your course. It's very creative, I know. If something goes wrong, let's say you fail some subjects or you get sick and for some reason you can't take the 4 subjects, there's a procedure behind that, but come talk to us if you do have any problems like that. If at any point you can't take 4 subjects, please talk to us. But if something goes wrong and you don't finish in 2 years or 3 years when you're meant to, come and talk to us. There are things that we can do to help you with that kind of thing because we do still want you to finish. Okay, so now we can actually ask you guys the questions and see if you know any of these answers. Does anyone know what happens if you can't study? Anyone want to guess? No? No guessing? Okay, well, I will guess for you. Basically, you need to study or you need to speak to us. We don't force you to study. So if you said to us, look, Nick, I want to go home, I'm really not enjoying it here, we do 2 things. First, we ask you, well, why aren't you enjoying it? Can we help? If we still can't, you say, look, I need to go home, we help you do that, okay? So don't feel that, okay, I've got to stay at Macquarie for 3 years and I'm going to have the worst time of my life because everything's going wrong. Come talk to us. We want to help you, and there are ways to help you if you need to go home. Okay, so another question to the floor. When do you need to have your OSHC or your Overseas Student Health Cover? Does anyone know? Sorry? Yes, exactly. 10 points for that man. Well done. Someone's on the board. Brilliant. Yes, you need to have your OSHC at all times, and it's kind of a trick question because you'll always have it. At least you should have because you're in the country. Normally we don't let you in without it, so if anyone's got in without it, I'm impressed. But you do need it. And the reason why you need it is because health cover in Australia is really expensive. There is a couple of quick questions because these ultimately will be questions in your mind. The OSHC card, that's a common question I get. If you are with a provider called Allianz or WorldCare, many of you will be, you need to order your card online through their website. That's why it's also important you update your address details so they know where to send it to. We have a hospital on campus, they'll talk more about that later today, but they accept your OSHC card, which means you will pay very little to see a doctor, or a GP as we call it here. So general practitioner is another name we give to doctors. So OSHC, very important. Does anyone know what happens if you can't pay your fees, which are due today, by the way? Anyone? Guess? No? Okay. Basically, you need to pay your fees. It's a trick question again. If you don't, unfortunately, the university may be asked to basically ask you to leave, say, look, you haven't paid us, you can't study. If, however, you do have problems with money, is anyone here a sponsored student? They have a government sponsor, Langston from Europe? Yeah, cool, okay. If for some reason your sponsor says, look, the money's not going to be there for 3 weeks, come talk to us. Again, there's a thing we do to tell the university to wait. Okay, so just so you know that we don't just cut you off, we talk to you about it. So, here's a question which I don't think you will know the answer to because this is a university thing. It's also a core visa condition. It's called the minimum rate of progress. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but I need to make you aware of it. Long and short is the university has a number of rules. I'm not going to bore you with them because they are kind of long and boring, but you just need to be aware that you need to maintain what's called satisfactory course progress or the minimum rate of progress. That's important. It basically says you can't fail too much. If you do, then the university is asked to, 1, make you leave the university, and 2, report you to immigration. It will have visa impacts. Basically, all I want you to take home from this is 1, pass, and if you're not passing, come talk to us so we can help you. That's all you need to remember about this. You also need to be aware that there is a code of conduct for students. This protects you as well as requires you to do some certain things. So if you say, Nick, I pushed a little old lady down the stairs, we'll say, don't do that, that's against the code of conduct, right? If you, as an international student, someone comes to you and says, look, I don't like you because you're from this country, that could be harassment, that could be discrimination. They're very important things here in Australia, and that's not allowed. So if someone is harassing you or discriminating against you, you need to come and talk to us. We treat it very seriously. So the Code of Conduct basically says what you can and can't do. It protects you as well as makes you do a few things. A lot of teams later today will talk to you about what's called academic honesty, referencing plagiarism. Just be aware that Macquarie is very big on that, and yeah, you'll get more support about that, but just be aware that we do have some rules there too. Most importantly, ask if you need any help. That's the number one thing I want you to take home. And that's the end of me. I'll see you later, and let us know if you need anything.
Big round of applause to Nick. Unfortunately, he probably has the most serious stuff that he has to talk to you about, but I think he always does a great job of trying to keep you engaged. So thank you, Nick. I'd now like to introduce Shay from the Career and Employment Service, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about working in employment in Australia.
How is everyone doing? Good? Still alive? Still awake? Yeah? All right, awesome. So I'm Shay, and I am a Career and Employment Advisor with the Career Service, and we are a very important service for you because if you want a job in Australia now or one day 3 years from now, we can help you get there. So basically, I'll be going over what we do in a nutshell, and you can always come and speak to us afterwards if you would like some further information. Okay. So reasons for working while studying. Now, Larry already touched on this beforehand. He mentioned a lot of things about soft skills and employability. Does everyone know what soft skills are? Personal skills, exactly. So they're things like teamwork skills, networking, communication, time management skills, and these are all very important in getting you a job here in Australia. So it's very important that you develop these through gaining experiences here, through meeting new people, through finding a part-time casual job, or through doing extracurricular activities. So reasons for working while studying, you'll get to understand more about the Australian culture, which we've already talked about, learn from the workplace as well. You'll also get some references and referees. So Australian employers are pretty big on referees over here. They want to know basically, are you a good worker? Should we invest our money in you? They will want to know who can be a referee for you. So if you can find a part-time casual job, it's a lot easier to have a referee from that. Alternatively, you can also ask your lecturers to be academic referees, but that's after a certain amount of time when they get to know you. It helps you gain confidence, and most importantly, you earn money. Sydney is an expensive city, so it helps to have some extra cash on hand, so you can live, buy food, that stuff. And of course, improve your language skills. So we've already talked about how important it is to develop your English skills while you're here, and working a part-time or casual job will really help with that. At the end of the day, this is also that you can demonstrate your employability to employers. So whether you are planning on staying here in Australia and finding a full-time job or returning to your home country, by telling an employer that, hey, I worked, for this many months at this company while I was a student, it demonstrates your employability skills and it does look good on your resume. Okay, so exactly what do employers look for? So the Australian Association of Graduate Employers did a survey, and they found from the majority of companies, they all focus on the soft skills. Now, hard skills are things like your GPA, the languages you speak, your computer skills and your technical skills. But more than anything, they want to know how good is your oral communication, your interpersonal skills, and your teamwork abilities. So I can't stress it enough, you have to make sure that you develop these skills while you are here and while you are studying. A lot of people are like, oh, but I'm already studying, do I have to work as well? Well, no, you don't have to, but all local students do it. It's a way of really speeding up the process if you would like to find a job straight after graduation. Similar survey was run in China as well, and they also found that the majority of employers are looking for technical ability, communication skills, and interpersonal skills. Okay, so how do you develop these skills? Now, basically, obviously you can go get a casual part-time job, but you can also do things like extracurricular activities and volunteering. Later today, you'll hear from a lot of different departments on campus, such as the Global Leadership Program and PACE, and they'll talk to you about how you can do opportunities with them. But essentially, make sure you're socialising with people of different nationalities, make sure you're meeting domestic students, join sporting groups, clubs, drama groups. We've got a lot of student societies on campus. We have a Quidditch society. No, seriously, we play Quidditch here. How cool is that? We've also got things like Ultimate Frisbee. There's everything that you can imagine here, so make sure you get involved. You can become a volunteer on campus. So later someone from Mentors at Macquarie will talk to you, but there's also the opportunity for you to get involved with that eventually. There's also the opportunity to be a brand representative for a company. So for instance, a lot of accounting companies out there, like CPA Australia and Ernst & Young, a lot of times they look for student ambassadors. So that's a great way of also developing your repertoire. And of course, technical ability. Now, your studies are important. Nick has already talked about the minimum rate of progress. Ideally, you should try and maintain a credit average. If you can do more than that, that's fantastic. But employers will also look at your grades. Soft skills are super important, but it's probably not great if you're failing all your subjects. And of course, participate in competitions. Univative is something that the Career Service runs. Today is actually the last day of Univative. Basically, it's a business competition where students get in groups and they have to go present real-life business solutions to companies. So that's also fantastic if you're looking for a way to get in touch with Australian employers. Okay, so where can you look for work? Now, we've got our major website is careerhub.mq.edu.au. Basically, if an employer wants to advertise a job to our students, they advertise it on Career Hub. Now, only Macquarie University students can access Career Hub, so it's just for you, so please take advantage of it. If you want a job on campus, that is advertised on a slightly different website. That's campuslife.mq.edu.au. Do keep in mind, jobs on campus are hard to get. There are 38,000 students at Macquarie University, and ideally all of them want a job on campus. So you have to be quick about it if you would like a job on campus. Alternatively, there are also external sites, such as seek.com, Career One, Gumtree, Indeed. These are all websites that are open to the entire Australian population. So it's going to be a lot harder to find work, but it is also another resource you can use. Recruitment agencies. Okay, now with recruitment agencies, they can help you find things like internships and jobs as well. However, keep in mind that you shouldn't be paying them money to help you find an internship. Okay, I've had a lot of students come to us before and say, hey Shay, I've been trying to find an unpaid internship and this company said that they'll get me one if I pay them $3,000. That is not right. Okay, so please be aware of your rights. Don't just give someone a lot of money because they say they'll help you find jobs. There's also another website you can go to called fairworkaustralia.gov.au. That will give you more detail about your rights while you're here in Australia. So it's really important you understand those. And of course, you can still check things like newspapers, professional association websites, and through your personal contacts. Okay, so what do we provide? Essentially, like I said, Career Hub, that's our main portal. So hop online, you can use that to search for jobs, but you can also book an appointment with us. So we do half-hour appointments from our office in Muse. The Muse building is right over there across Macquarie Theatre. So you can book an appointment with us, and you can also register for our events. So for instance, our career fair is actually coming up on Monday the 10th of August from 12 to 3 p.m. So if any of you are interested in speaking to some employers right now, pretty soon, come along to the career fair. It's a great chance for networking. Our career consultations, we do a lot of things. We provide general careers advice and, career pathway planning. We also help you with your job application reviews. So, how many of you have written a resume before? How many of you have written an Australian resume? A few? Okay. So for those of you who are from North America, how long is a resume generally in America? 1 page? Okay. In Australia, your resume can be 2 pages. Yeah? So you've got more space to play with. In some other countries, so for example, I think in some countries in Europe, you have to put your photo on your resume, is that right? Not in Australia. Yep, so we have really strict anti-discriminatory laws, so you don't put your private information on your resume. So you don't put your date of birth on your resume, or your photo, or your nationality, or your gender. That information is not needed. Yep, so there are a lot of differences between Australian resumes and the resume you may have written when you were at home. So do make sure you come and get it reviewed by us, because that's the first step in applying for a job. We hold a lot of skills workshops, so you can register for these on Career Hub as well. So things like resume writing, interview skills, online applications, it's basically a group of 50 students, and we do a presentation that's a little bit like this one. Connecting with employers, I've already talked about our career fair. And of course, you can always contact us. That's our email right there. You can give us a call too, come and say hi. We're on level 2 of Muse, like I mentioned. Or find us on Facebook. Everyone's on Facebook. So you can search us up, Macquarie University Career Service, and that's another way you can contact us. But that essentially wraps up everything I have to say. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask afterwards. But other than that, best of luck at your time here at Macquarie, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you, Shay. So I'd now like to welcome Florence, who's going to talk to you about some academic support here on campus.
Thank you, Cassie. Before I start, I would like to ask you a question. You know that at Macquarie University, if you study a unit, you will get a grade, like from high distinction, distinction, credit, pass, and fail. I just want to know who wants to get a distinction or a high distinction. You put up your hands. Wow, most of you. Okay, well, maybe I jump to the other end. Who wants to fail? No one. All right. So I'm from Learning Skills, and our team developed resources to help students understand the expectation of university, and we also organize workshops on different skills like reading skills, note-taking skills, and academic writing skills. Like many of you, I was an international student here. I'm from Hong Kong. So before I came here, I thought that, well, I did my first degree and I pursued my master's here. And I was an English teacher in Hong Kong. So I thought that, well, I'm pretty much quite well prepared. But when I came here, I found that, wow, it's really different because the academic culture is quite different here. Say, for example, how you structure an argument or how you structure an essay is really different from my own language. Who speaks English as an additional language here? Yeah, most of you, right. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the resources that our team developed, and hopefully this will help you to take control of your study and equipped with some skills to do well at university. So for the online resources, we've got 2 resources. One is called StudyWise. Are you familiar with iLearn? Have you heard about it? Yeah. This is in your iLearn site. If you are new students, I'm sure all of you are automatically enrolled into these 2 units. If you go to your home site, if you find the word study support and click on that, you'll find these 2 resources. Let me first talk about StudyWise. There are 5 sections. The first section may be quite useful for you. It's called Studying at University, Starting at University. So it's for new students. And we also have some skills section about note-taking and time management skills. And we also have one section about different types of assignments. I'm sure many of you have done some assignments, but maybe there are some new assignments that you are not quite familiar with. For example, writing a business report or annotated bibliography, or even essay. Maybe like the structure is different from the one that you had in your own country. So we also have got example assignment from students who got like distinction or high distinction. So you can have a look at those assignments and get some idea about the requirements. Another unit is called Academic Integrity for Students. This module is about how to avoid plagiarism. I know that for some of you, maybe from your culture, it's okay to copy someone's ideas. But here in Australia, if you borrow someone's ideas, you have to cite the sources and how to do it properly. We'll talk about this in this module. And there are quizzes that you can work on. I would encourage you to work on the self-assessment quiz in this module. And it takes only about 5 to 10 minutes. And you'll get feedback on which section of the module that you can work on. We also offer free workshops. Yes, free. You don't have to pay because it's already included in your tuition fees. Just kidding. We actually have got workshops today from 1 to 3 p.m. on 2 topics. First is effective academic writing, and also habits of high-achieving students. You'll find this in your booklet, where the sections are. During the term, we offer sections for students. How many postgraduate students here? Wow, most of you. Okay. So we've got workshops for undergraduate students, 24 topics, note-taking, referencing, etc. For postgraduate students, we've got 9 topics. And going to workshops is a really great way to meet some domestic students. In fact, in one of my workshops, I delivered the oral presentation workshop. After the workshop, students exchanged their email. They became presentation partners because they agreed to help each other to improve their skills. So it's a great way to meet people. For the workshops, you can find the information on our website, or the timetable, where's the workshop and the topic. For the undergraduate workshops, it's 1 hour, and for postgrad workshops, it's 1.5 hours. And for postgraduate workshops especially, we've got workshops on what makes writing academic, because it's different from everyday writing. And also we've got workshops on evaluating academic sources, etc. And there is no need to make any booking. We actually asked students what they thought about our workshops in our evaluation survey. Do you know? 75% of the students found that after going to our workshop, they felt more prepared for university studies. So I highly recommend that you join some of our workshops. Besides online resources and delivering workshops, we actually lived in the library every day from 12 to 2 p.m. at the info desk. Have you been to the library, anyone? Some of you. Of course, we've got library tour as well. So when you enter the library on the left-hand side, we'll be there every day from 12 to 2 p.m. to answer students' questions. Well, you may ask, what sort of questions can I ask? Sometimes students come along with their assignment topic. They are not quite sure whether they are on the right track. Then we can help you to understand the assignment topics and analyzing or interpreting the topic. So For example, when you have to do an assignment and you are not sure whether you are on the right track, come and talk to us. You can also contact us by email, so we've got the email address. And we are actually we've got Facebook, and you can follow us through Twitter. If you can't remember everything I said today, that's fine. Remember 2 words. What are the 2 words that you need to remember? Not sure? Learning skills. If you type in learning skills, you'll find all the information and timetable on our website. Do you have any question? Okay, maybe I leave it to the end.
Thank you, Florence. So now I'd like to introduce Natalie, who's another one of our current students, and she is also involved with the Mentors at Macquarie program. So hopefully you've had the opportunity to potentially meet Natalie over the past week. But Natalie's going to talk to you a little bit about the support services here. Thank you.
Hi guys. So like Cassie said, my name is Natalie, and I'm a team leader for the Mentors at Macquarie program, which Cheyenne mentioned before. So today I'm going to talk to you about the university services. We have a lot of services that we offer on campus, and that's why I'm just going to focus on the 4 main ones, which are IT support, administrative support, academic support, and well-being support. So IT support is everything that has to do with the online aspect of university. So if you have problems logging into your iLearn account, or if you forgot your eStudent account, you can go to the IT support office and they'll be able to help you. You can contact them by going in person, or you can email them at help@mq.edu.au. And they're very helpful, and so if you have any problems with IT, you can always go to them. We have administrative support, which includes Student Connect. Now, if you're not sure what Student Connect is, if you have any questions at all about campus and you're not sure who to ask, most likely Student Connect is the answer. Even if they don't directly help you, they'll lead you to the right direction, and they are available, every day, every weekday from 9 to 5 p.m. You can ask them online at ask.mq.edu, or you can go in person in Muse, which I think most of you are familiar with by now. Do you all know where Muse is? Okay, that's awesome. If you don't know where Muse is, you can ask one of us and we can direct you the way. So we have also accommodation. We have various accommodation places on campus. There's 4 ones, which are RMC, DMC, Igloo, and Mac Village. If you want to have general questions about accommodation, you can go to the campus hub. That's the accommodation offices there. It's C10A level 1. You can also search online and you can find their number. You just have to search Mac unique accommodation, and all the information will come up. We have childcare services on campus. We have 3 places, 3 childcare services, which are Maya, Banksia, and Gumnut. And they all have priority for students and teachers, so that you can guarantee a spot if you need to use those services. We also have academic support. This is an important one because, after all, you are here to learn, you are here to get good grades, so you do need that support, academically. And one of the ways we offer support is through PAL and PASS sessions. So what these are is student-run sessions that have previously done the unit that you need help with. If you're not sure if that your unit provides PAL and PASS, you can always ask your lecturers. It's offered by all faculties except for the science faculty. We have the Numeracy Center. This one, it's located in C5A 225. And if you're doing any math-based subject like statistics, math, or physics, and you're struggling with it, or there's a certain assignment you need help with, you can always go to the Numeracy Center. They also have workshops that they run, and just be mindful with those workshops that the space is taken quickly, so go a bit earlier so you can guarantee a spot. Academic advisors. This is a really important one because if you have questions about your degree, or you're not sure what units you need to do, you want to change your degree, or you just want general questions to make sure everything is in order, and I would highly recommend you go to an academic advisor. There is one available for all faculties and all departments. You just have to search online, and you'll find which academic advisor is suitable for you, and then you can book an appointment with them. So we also have well-being support, and This one, all the information, all the services that the Wellbeing Support offers, which is offered by Campus Wellbeing, is free and confidential. So they offer, disability services, counseling services, welfare, and medical services. They also have, if you have an assignment, for example, and you've gone sick, or there's certain circumstances that you think you won't be able to finish on time, you can always go to them, and they'll be able to help you, how to get an extension and help you with these things. Don't hesitate to go to them. It's better to ask, seek help than to be at a disadvantage. And that's pretty much it. Is there any questions you have about any of the services that I talked about? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, Cassie. And again, if you have any questions, you can ask at the end of the session, or you can email us, mentors@MQ. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. So I'm so excited to say we're almost 2/3 of the way through, so well done, guys. I'm now going to invite all the presenters down for a Q&A session. So if you guys have any burning questions for anyone who's presented, otherwise I do have some questions that were given earlier by some of the students who registered for these sessions. So a very important thing as well, which I always forget to do, is my name is Cassie Karmas and I'm the Orientation Program Manager. Probably should have done that at the start, but I was just so excited to get the session off and running. So my job is basically to oversee the whole orientation program. So for those of you who have been to all the events over the past week, I hope you've enjoyed them. For those who haven't, don't worry. Next week is week 1, so the start of classes, and we've got a whole bunch of events planned for that week and the first few weeks of session as well. So everyone who was talking about joining the clubs and societies and doing lots of different things, they are still running next week. So at the end of this session, you're all going to be given a little welcome pack, which is just a little pack for you that has all the different flyers from the services who have spoken today and some of those that have been mentioned. We've also got, so in case of, for those of you who didn't know, we're very, very passionate about sustainability here. So we've got a great drink bottle for you that is donated by Sustainability. So we hope to see you out and about using this, and yeah, you'll get those welcome packs later today. So we've got the panel up here. Now, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask? You can just yell it out. This is what's going to happen in a lecture theatre come next week. Your lecturer is going to stand up here, probably hopefully looking very friendly, but maybe a little bit stern, asking if everyone understands what they've just spoken about. No. Yes? The learning skills workshops? Yes, Florence, would you like to take that one?
Testing. You can find the workshop details on our website. So if you go to Macquarie website and in the search box in the top right-hand corner and type in learning skills, then you can go to our website and on our webpage and you click on the PG postgraduate workshops or academic language and learning workshops. Then you can find the details. There is one today from 1 to 3 p.m. I think it's in your booklet. Is it in that pack over there?
So in your welcome pack, you're going to get an orientation booklet. And yeah, there's actually 2 workshops this afternoon, Florence, but they're in the same location. So they're actually just in the building behind here, and they start at 1 o'clock. So you can join us for lunch and then attend a workshop if you would like. Anyone else? Yes? What is the maximum amount of units that you can take?
Well, just to, first of all, I'll answer the question twofold. First of all, just so everyone's aware, units, subjects, we use them interchangeably. What we mean is, for example, ISIS 100 is a unit, but it's also a subject. If you're talking how many credit points, yeah, but what I will say is, generally you'll take 4, because that's all you'll be able to fit in a week. Technically, if you're an exceptional student with a very high average, they may allow you to take 5. I don't recommend it though. But basically the rule of thumb is always take 4. But as I say, if you're doing exceptionally well, you can take 5. And we do have the summer session, which is what we call an optional session, and you can take units over summer as well.
A question for you. Do you happen to be a study abroad and exchange student? Okay, I think study abroad and exchange students can actually take 3. We have some presenters coming on in the next session who will definitely be able to answer that question for you. That's, I'm sure, a very good question. We'll definitely get you, and hopefully the study abroad and exchange team can answer that for you in the next part. Okay? We had another question up the back there. Yeah. That's a good question. So that was, what was the difference between a 100 level unit and a 200 level unit? We might flick that over to our lovely student, Natalie.
Hey, so 100 level students usually means first year subjects, and 200 means second year subjects. So you know how they were telling you about room numbers, you know, like 100 is level 1 and 200 is level 2? So it's kind of the same thing. 200 units usually sometimes have prerequisites, which are 100 level units. So you can do some 200 without doing certain 100 unit level units. So just keep in mind when doing that. That's pretty much it.
Yes. So trouble enrolling in courses, and who do we talk to? I'm probably going to take this one. Come and see us at the end of this session and we'll get you sorted out. Is anyone else in the same boat that hasn't completed? Whoa. Okay, so all of you stick around after this and we'll make sure we'll take you to go and get you enrolled straight away. Okay? Any other questions? Yes. Is attendance mandatory in lectures? Another good question.
I'll steal this one. It depends on your lecture. Certain subjects will tell you it's mandatory. Certain subjects will say, or they'll just remain silent on the issue, which means it's not. By and large, most lectures are not mandatory. Tutorials usually are, but again, what you will need to check is a thing called your unit guide. Each subject will have a document called the unit guide. This tells you when your assessments are due, who your lecturer is, all that important information. Check that, because it will say your lectures are mandatory, you must attend. Usually it won't though. Yeah, so if it does attribute a weight, as we call it, a percentage mark to showing up, then it probably won't be mandatory, but as I say, if you don't show up, you won't get the marks. But just watch out if it does say, if you don't attend a certain number, then they can fail you for the whole course. Just be very careful with what it says in that guide, because think of the unit guide like your contract, because that's what the law is, so to speak.
Also, it's usually a good idea to definitely try and go along to your first lectures for each subject. The lecturers will talk to you a lot about these things and kind of explain what the requirements are, how you can make things up, and that kind of thing. So I hope that all of you are planning to be here next week for the start of classes, and definitely go along to your first lecture. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay, good question. So as in when you book an appointment to see us, do we help you find a job? Yeah. Okay, so what we do is, just to clarify, we don't match you to a job. So we're not going to say, okay, what sort of job do you want? Let's find you one now. That's not exactly what we do. What we do is we help you develop the skills that you would need to find a job. We'll point you in the right direction. So if you come to us and say, you know, I'm a commerce marketing student, I'd like an internship at a marketing company, how do I go about doing this? We'll put you in the right direction. We'll say, okay, you should check out these websites. Maybe we'll give you some resources, and then we'll say, have you had your resume reviewed? So that's kind of what we do. But just to clarify, we don't match you to a job. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that question was, I might just repeat it for anyone who heard it. Are there specific search domains and databases and places for if you're studying law or business that you can go and find research and dissertations? We've actually got the library coming to present straight after this, so I might just not let anyone answer that one, and we might hear from the library because I know that Rena is going to talk to you all about that. That's a good question. So again, for anyone that didn't hear it, what kind of referencing does Macquarie University have and use? So maybe Florence can take this one, but I'm sure Rena will also talk about this as well for the library.
Actually, we don't have a specific referencing style for Macquarie University. Usually it's discipline specific. So say, for example, if you study education or you study commerce or law, they have specific referencing style that you need to follow. Again, I would advise you to look at your unit guide because usually it's stated there. If it is not there, talk to your unit convener about the kind of style that you need to use. I think the library has got a lot of information about referencing, and Rena will talk about it in the second session.
Good questions. You're all onto the stuff that we're about to get to, so that's good. Anything else? Yes. That's a good question. So there was a Meet Your Mentor session happening during orientation and we missed it. So how can we meet our mentor?
Okay, so would you like to have a campus sort of tour? Because that's one of the things you missed out on. What you can do is, do you know who your mentor is? You can email the mentors and tell them, I missed out on my session, can I request to have a tour next week? And so one of us, I had actually already talked to mentors yesterday because I had another mentee who asked me that. I told them to send them my email afterwards and I'll be happy to give you a campus tour next week. And so that's for everyone who missed out on the tours. Just emails mentors and we'll get back to you and we'll provide a time suitable for you to give you a campus tour.
Okay, so we might halt the questions there and we'll move on to the next session. Thank you to everyone in our panel. So big round of applause. Okay, before we move on to our next session, we're actually going to be sending around a sheet where we're just going to grab your details. Now, to make it easier, for anybody who actually would like a mentor or would like to organise a campus tour, do me a favour and just write next to your details and we'll follow up. And make sure we organise that for you next week. So we'll set a time. Okay? I'd now like to welcome Rena, who's going to talk to you about the library.
Okay, hi everyone, can you hear me? Okay. All right, so my name is Rena and I'm from the library and I'm here to tell you about the services and the facilities that you can expect to see at the library. So let's start. So in the picture there, you may recognise the library as the very big, colourful, stripy building over that side of campus. If you haven't been in yet, please come in and have a look. We are running tours and I'll talk about them at the end of my presentation. So the library gives you access to information and resources to support your study and research. The building is open throughout the year at the following times. So computers and collections are open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. during the week. And we're open on weekends as well, 10 till 6. We have study spaces upstairs, and they're open extended hours, so 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. during the week, and 10 to 6 on weekends. And of course, we have a lot of resources online, and they're available 24/7. So you can come to the library to study. We've got approximately 3,000 seats and a variety of group and individual study spaces in the building. There are also dedicated postgraduate and higher degree research study spaces. They require swipe entry with your student card. So if you are a postgraduate or higher degree research student, you can get access to those spaces by filling out a form on the library website. We also have access to computers and iPrint, which is the university's wireless printing system. Now, to use this, you need your card. So your student card is really your ID card, it's your library card, it's your printing card, it's everything all in one. So keep it on you at all times. Now, you can print on all levels of the library as well as some other buildings on campus. You need the card to use the system, as I say, and you need to put money on your card before you use it, and that's how you pay for printing. We've got recharge machines in the library and also other buildings on campus, as you can see with that little map there. Okay, so what about borrowing? Now, as a student, you can borrow an unlimited number of books and DVDs at any one time. Okay, so as many as you can hold. This is the library website, and it explains all the borrowing conditions and also the different collections that you can use. One of the most popular collections in the library for students is Reserve, and that is where we keep copies of textbooks and essential readings that might be listed in your unit guide. They can be borrowed for 3 hours at a time. So it's a short loan, but it's really good for those days when you're late for class and you forget your book and you just need something and you need to run off to a lecture. Okay, so with the library website, it's pretty huge. There is a lot of really good information on this site, including tips on how to approach assignments, how to start your research, and resources to help with that. You'll find essential information under the quick links, and that includes assignment help. It also includes specific subject guides. Okay, so we have built guides for all the subjects available and how you can approach assignments and research in your particular discipline. You're going to be using multi-search to search for items in the library. So this includes physical items on the shelves and also our online databases and articles, ebooks, everything. So yes, your question was, do you have specific databases? We have hundreds and hundreds of databases. Any subject that you do, we will have a database with journal articles, publications, everything that you need. Okay, so you can search for items using keywords, using the author or the title, or there's a really cool thing you can do where you type in your unit code into multi-search and it'll come up with a list of items for your unit. Okay, that's a really nice tip, a really nice shortcut to get all your essential things on the one screen. It also includes past exam papers. Okay, so when the time comes to practice, put in your unit code and you can search for past exam papers. Okay, so basically we encourage you to have a play with the library website, see what you can find. There's also information on referencing, so once you've worked out what referencing style you use for your subject, have a look, and we've got tips on how to actually lay that out in your assignments and research. And as I mentioned before, we have library tours running. So we're running them today and also throughout next week, so you will get a chance to have a tour. They're at 12:15 and 1:15 every day during the week. You don't need to book, just turn up at the time, and they start in the library lobby. They run for half an hour and they're a really good way to introduce you to the building. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rena. So I hope she answered all the questions about the library. But if anyone has any more questions, definitely go along and check out the library tour. Oh, we've got one. That's interesting. How many textbooks are on ebook? Thanks, Rena.
That's a very good question. So we try and get ebook copies of whatever textbook we can get available. We don't have all copies because there's a whole thing going on in the publishing world with ebooks and copyright and all this sort of stuff. Not all publishers want to make ebooks of textbooks. So if they have decided to do an ebook version, we will get it, absolutely. We don't have everything though. But what you will find when you search for a textbook, you'll actually see in the results that there will be a physical copy or an online copy. So it'll come straight up. Yeah. And we're always around to help. So just come to the library information desk. We can actually start you off with the searching and we can look for textbooks for you. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so I'd now like to welcome Rob, who's going to talk to you a little bit about campus life.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. My name is Rob. I'm the team leader at Campus Engagement, which is one of the organisations within Campus Life. Campus Life, you all would be relatively familiar with in some way or another, I'm sure of it. You just might not know who we are. So we're the organisation within the university that runs things like the gym, childcare centres, the food hubs. We support orientation and O Week. And we run a lot of the engagement and support services across campuses that support your academic engagement while you're at Macquarie. So what I'm going to do is just talk briefly about sort of the services that we offer and how you can get engaged on campus to support what you're doing academically at Macquarie. We have a little video actually. Do I click this? We're hoping this will work. Next. Oh. Nope. All right, that's okay. The video is not working. What I'm going to do is, rather than try and fiddle around with this and waste everyone's time, I'm just going to talk you briefly through. So we offer a whole range of services on campus that are specifically designed to support you as you're studying, because we know primarily your academic progression at Macquarie is of paramount importance. But we're also aware that to get through academically and to get the best results academically, you need to have balance in your life and you need to be supporting yourselves in other ways. And that's what we're here to do. So we offer a whole range of sport and recreational activities. So whether that be just going to the gym for a swim, working out, that kind of thing, getting involved in our social sport, getting involved in competitive sport, we offer all kinds of services like that. And I think someone from the gym is actually going to be here after me talking about these services. We offer accommodation services on campus, so not only do we offer a range of accommodation services on campus and surrounding, but we can support you guys in finding private listings in the local area. We run a whole bunch of events. We provide catering on campus, so if ever you needing catering on campus for an event you're running, a meeting, anything like that, we can support. Where I specifically come into it is student groups, so I support the administration of student groups. We've currently got over 130 student groups on campus that I'll be talking about briefly. We have child services for anyone who's got children and want to bring them on campus but just need them looked after for a couple of hours while you're in lectures, while you're working, that kind of thing. We can support you there. We run all the food and beverage outlets on campus. We have venues for your use. We have a few shops, like I'm sure you're aware of the shop, well, it's called The Shop, down the campus hub where you've got the post office, can buy supplies, food, all that kind of stuff. All right, moving on then. So here's just an example of some of the things that we do offer for all Macquarie students on campus. And like I said, this is to support you guys as you're studying. So we've got programs that the gym offers for you to be working out, exercising, getting involved around your academic activities. We have the U-Bar, which offers different activities every single day for you guys. We run deals at the hub, so everyone, if you haven't got your diary already, come and talk to us and we can look at getting you a diary, but we can also give out vouchers. So for every day at the hub and the food court, we're offering different deals and things to save you guys a bit of money. We run the Get Involved campaign, which is all about student groups activities. So like I said, we have over 130 student groups running on campus. They encompass faculty groups, religious and spiritual groups, social groups, performing arts groups, political groups, and humanitarian groups. So pretty much if there's anything you're interested in, we have a student group that'll cater for you guys. And if there's no student group, if you can't find a student group that suits your specific interests, you can start your own, which is a really fantastic sort of service. So anyone that's here, if you're studying, whether it's 6 months, a year, whatever, and you want to start your own student group, you can come and talk to me and we can look at how we can actually make that happen. What else are we running? So like I said, with the accommodation services, we run a whole range of accommodation services. Does everyone here have accommodation currently? Anyone still looking? Yep, come and talk to me afterwards and we'll point you in the right direction, get you figured out with that one. Okay, so we're at the tail end of O Week this week. Now, I'm not sure how many of you would have gotten to O Week during the week, where we had all the stalls in the central courtyard. Did anyone get down and have a look? Few hands? Excellent. For those that missed out, I don't want you to worry because all of next week we'll be running a whole bunch of activities throughout the campus so you can get to know all the sporting activities that we're running, all the social activities that we'll be doing, as well as all the student groups. So I don't want you to worry, the fun's going to be continuing. If you jump up on the website, on the orientation page, you can have a look at a planner which will show you everything that's going on in the next couple of weeks. There's some really great things going on. We're having a comedy night up in the U-Bar on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll be having a campus challenge where the whole campus comes together to compete in the central courtyard with a whole bunch of activities. And then on Thursday night will be the Winter Haze party, which will be the U-Bar's sort of welcome to semester party. So there's a whole bunch of things that'll be going on. Like Reena spoke about, we've still got library tours going on. Student groups will be engaged through the first couple of weeks, including putting on a bit of an exhibition for you guys, where they'll be having all their tables out in the central courtyard so everyone can have a wander if you haven't met them already and see what kind of student groups we have on offer. So the best way to get involved with all of these activities is a system that we have called Check-In. So Check-In is your one-stop shop for getting to know what's going on campus, and it's really easy to do. All you need to do is go to the website up here, which is checkin.mq.edu.au. Put in your details, log in, and you're done. So through that, you can explore all the sporting options we have on campus. You can receive updates on all the social events that are going on, all the interest events going on, and you can explore and contact and join all the student groups that we have. So you don't even need to leave your bed, theoretically, to find out exactly what's going on campus, which I remember if this was around when I was a student, I would have found that really, really helpful. I think that's actually done. So I'd really implore you guys, get involved as much as you can. If you see me around campus, have any questions, please just grab me. Classes start next week and all the fun from orientation will be continuing. Get up on check-in, have a look around, and I encourage you to get involved as much as you can because there's so many opportunities on campus and your time at Macquarie, I guarantee, will be greatly enhanced if you just sort of really push yourselves beyond just involving yourselves in your academic areas, but get involved in sports, student clubs, everything else we have. I think that's me. Thank you very much.
So as Rob said, for those few people who are still looking for accommodation, again, come and see us afterwards and we'll take you straight over to the team and get you situated with that. So I'd now like to welcome Christy, who's going to talk to you about the Swim Safe Warriors program. Obviously, we're an island country here in Australia. We have a lot of beautiful beaches, but there are some probably different conditions to what you're used to. So Christy's going to talk to you a little bit about that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Christy and I'm a teacher of swimming and water safety here at Macquarie Uni in the Sports and Aquatics Centre. So has anyone been up to the gym yet to check it out? Yeah, one or two. Look, we've got some really great facilities there, guys. So it's not just the pool. We've got a fully equipped gym. We've got lots and lots and lots of classes. So if you like doing exercise classes, there's all types of classes available to you. We also have some 30-minute express classes at lunchtime, so there's no excuse if you can't fit it in because you're studying at night. Get in there and do your 30 minutes at lunchtime. We also have a creche facility, so if you do have children and you want to come and do a workout as well, you can pop them into creche. The gym also has a 50-metre and 25-metre pool, and it's in the 25-metre pool where I run the Swim Safe Warriors program. Now this program is a free program, so I've got everybody listening, free, yay. Okay, so it specifically has been made for you guys, our international students. We're aware that you're a high-risk group, coming from certain countries where you may not have had exposure to the water or as much exposure as you would have had if you'd grown up in this country. As Cassie mentioned, we are the largest island in the world, so we're surrounded by water. We have many inland waterways as well, the lovely Sydney Harbour. We have fantastic rivers, creeks, waterholes. I mean, it's endless. And there's so many different activities that you can do. Is anyone surprised at how much the Australian culture is actually around water, like the amount of activities you can do? A lot of people just think swimming, but you know, you can hire a jet ski, you can go out on a boat, you can go on those, they're called a SUP, so the stand-up paddle boards. You know, there's so many things that you can actually do. It's just not all about swimming. So I just want to go through some safety things with you guys. So the bad stuff first. Drowning statistics. Unfortunately, it happens. And in the year 2013 to 14, we lost 215 males and 51 females to drowning. Now, these are only the drowning statistics. Okay, so these are the people who we lost. There's also another set of statistics that we do not know about of near drownings, and these can be even worse, guys. If someone has been left without oxygen for a long space of time, they may not be able to have a fully functioning life after a near drowning experience. Look, I don't want to scare you, but that's how dangerous it can be if you take risks that you don't need to. So there's a big percentage there of males. Now, we all know the reason for that, don't we? Guys are fearless. They like to egg each other on. Add alcohol to that, which is part of the Australian culture as well, unfortunately, and maybe even part of, your social activities here while you're at the uni and things as well. You may go off and consume some alcohol. Alcohol and water don't really work very well. So, some simple ways that we can keep ourselves safe at the beach and around the water. So our lifeguards, they are there to help you and support you. If a lifeguard directs you to get out of the water, move from an area in the water, they are there to help you. Please respect that. They are there to do a job. Some of these guys aren't paid. So the guys in the bottom corner in the yellow, they're volunteer lifeguards. So they do this voluntarily, they do not get paid. The guys in the blue though, does anybody recognise the guys in the blue? Okay, when you get out, Google or YouTube, Bondi Rescue. It's awesome, great show. These guys are paid lifeguards at Bondi Beach, so one of our most iconic beaches here in Australia. We get lots of tourists. Lots and lots of tourists, and we get lots of locals as well. And unfortunately, if you don't know what to do when you're at the beach, you can get yourself into trouble, which is basically what this show is about. It shows the Bondi lifeguards saving people who've got themselves into trouble and just shows you how risky it can be. So make sure that you're paying attention to the lifeguards, guys. They really are there to help you. Warning signs, so looking at if there's signs on the beach saying there's no swimming, there's a reason for that. So please don't go in the water. Signalling for help. If you do get in trouble, please try and let someone know. Don't just struggle. Try somebody next to you. Someone might only be a few metres away. Yell out to them, get them to go and get some help. You really do lose energy in the water really, really quickly, and it's not surprising how quickly you actually go under the water. So as soon as you realise that you're in trouble, you really do need to signal for help. So the free course. I'll be running the course, guys, so I'll be doing the theory, and then you'll have some of our wonderful teachers at the pool teaching you your practical. So there'll be 3 lots of 30-minute theory sessions, and that'll be followed by 30 minutes in the pool. And then we also have 3 times 60-minute prac in the water as well. So the aim of the course, obviously, is to give you those skills to help you when you're out in the aquatic world, and also... Looks a bit silly there, doesn't it? Don't know what's happened there, but that's okay. So we're going to be looking at what we've just touched on briefly. So identifying lifeguards, warning signals, also things like weather and how the weather can impact on the beach and inland waterways as well. There's also in the water, safe entries, exits, flotation, and getting some movement through the water. So it's not a teaching you to swim class as such. For those who are a little bit more confident in the water, you may start getting some of those skills, and we can certainly then look at putting you into our Learn to Swim program, which we have for adults as well. So the course will be running from Tuesday the 4th of August from 11 till 12. It's 6 consecutive Tuesdays for 1 hour. So it's free, as I've mentioned, but we do ask that you commit to all 6 of those sessions. It's 6 hours that may save your life or the life of the person next to you or behind you or somebody that you're having this wonderful campus experience with. So guys, I can't ask you enough to please come and join the program. I'd love to see as many people there as I can. They are limited in spaces. Okay, so if you don't make it round to this round, keep us in mind for the next round. We run them 2 to 3 times a year. Okay, and I do have something really special organised. For the last week, we will be going out to one of our iconic beaches, so may even be Bondi. You'll just have to wait and see. But pop up to the gym, go and speak to the swim school desk, and they can give you a enrolment form. And from there, we'd love to see you guys in the program. Thanks for your time.
Okay, we'll also have information for the Swim Safe program on the orientation website as well. So as with everything that everyone's spoken about today, if you just go to the main Macquarie University webpage and just type in the Google search bar, most things will come up straight away. So if you don't remember anything about what Chrissy has just said, just remember Swim Safe Warriors and you can find out more about the program. All right, I'd now like to welcome Emily, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the Global Leadership Program. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Before I start, has anyone come down to the OEIC stall and come and had a chat with us about the GLP so far? Okay, a couple of people. Awesome. All right, so I suppose before I launch into the Global Leadership Program, I'll ask you all a quick question. How many of you, hands up, would like to either work, live, or at some point study overseas? Which I can see that you're doing number 3, but the other 2? Awesome. So the idea with the Global Leadership Program is to provide students with the cross-cultural and international communication skills, as well as the professional skills that employers are looking for and students require to embark upon global careers in whatever country, whatever career that they're after. This is some of the snapshots of our students getting involved in some of the activities. The middle top photo there you can see is with Prime Minister Kevin Rudd at the Global Voices Conference. Some of the other photos are from our Canberra Symposium and the others are from our Cultural and Foreign Affairs series. So in terms of what the actual Global Leadership Program is, it's an extracurricular program, so it's not for academic credit. It's intended to be completely separate to the experience that you guys get in your typical lecture or class. It is free completely, so you can complete the entire program for free. It's open to all Macquarie University students. However, there is a difference between the programs that each cohort completes. So can I have a quick show of hands? Who is here for the postgraduate degree, for a full degree at Macquarie University? Brilliant. Okay, so you guys will be, if you are interested, completing the postgraduate component of the program. Undergraduate, so here for a full undergraduate program, course of study. Okay, great. There's an undergraduate program. And then the study abroad and exchange students, here for 1 session or 2 at the very most. Okay. And then there's a shorter version for the study abroad and exchange students for you guys. And I'll talk about each one of those programs in a bit more detail further down. There are no grade point average requirements. So again, the program does not require you to have any marks, evidence of marks to be able to participate. And you also have the added flexibility in completing the program completely to your own schedule. In terms of what the GLP is about, it's a combination of workshops, speaker series, practical activities that help you develop those cross-cultural and international communication and professional skills that I mentioned before. So not only does it add an international element to your already fantastically internationalized course of study, but it also helps you develop the professional skills that we know so many employers are looking for in graduates. In the undergraduate program, as with the other 2, you will complete a workshop series that has and it follows basically the international or professional orientation that the Global Leadership Program promotes. So the workshops that you'll be completing are around topics like international humanitarian law, refugees and security, climate change, nuclear proliferation, terrorism, all the things that are currently on the global agenda, but with the intention of giving you guys insight from experts in the fields, either from Macquarie University or externally, who can give you insights that you may not necessarily have considered before. And as such, the idea is for you guys to get in there, maybe do something that's a bit different to the course of study that you're completing at Macquarie as well, and find out, what else is out there. Second component is the Distinguished Speaker Series, again, applicable to all 3 programs. This is where we have an Australian leader come in and address our students. Now, if you do join the GLP, you'll be part of what is now really a subculture at Macquarie University. There's approximately 3,000 students participating in the program, being postgraduate, undergraduate, study abroad and exchange students. So you really have the opportunity to make some wonderful global networks, and believe me when I tell you, our students have gone on to do some amazing things, so you will really be setting yourself up with some wonderful networks internationally. So the Distinguished Speaker Series, as I said, is your opportunity to network with the students in the program as well as an Australian leader who has accomplished themselves in a particular way. In the past, we've had Justice Michael Kirby from the High Court of Australia, and who now sits on several UN panels. We've had Tim Flannery, who is a climate change advocate and also a professor here at Macquarie University. Waleed Ali, for anyone who's watched the project, CEO of Leo Burnett, Todd Sampson, the founders of Lonely Planet, and that's just to name a few of the people that have been involved. So it is really a wonderful opportunity to come along, develop your networking skills, possibly meet with someone who is a really distinguished Australian leader and get to know some hints and tips about leadership, really. Study abroad and exchange program is those two elements altogether. For the undergraduate and postgraduate programs, there is an added element of practical experience. So for the postgraduate and undergraduate students, your course in the GLP is complemented with practical activities such as volunteering, going to Brazil, like the students up there, embarking on the Global Voices program, just to name a few. So there is a lot of opportunity for you to immerse yourself in your interests and get to know, people from the program and from around the world. Laura has handed you guys out all a slip of paper. Now that is just some information about our welcome sessions. In order to be able to get started in the program, you will need to come along to a welcome session, and it sort of just nuts out all of this information that I've given to you guys in a lot more detail. So we've got 2 welcome sessions happening next week. One on Thursday the 30th, that's for our undergraduate cohort. And then we've got Tuesday 28th for the study abroad and exchange. The following week we will have postgraduates. Now you only need to attend one of these sessions, and we will then mark off your attendance and you can get started in the program. Finally, to join in the Global Leadership Program, you can visit mq.edu.au/GLP. You can see on that website my contact details. If you've got any questions, do let us know. We're up at the Australian Hearing Hub behind the lovely library, so you can also come along on level 5 and say hello and ask any questions you've got. Register for the Global Leadership Program again on the website mq.edu.au/GLP. Please be sure to register for the correct cohort that you are, postgraduate, undergraduate, study abroad or exchange. If you're unsure, give us a call. The welcome sessions will be running weeks 1 to 3. Just come along to one of those and you can get started in the program. I will also be outside, just out in the hall here. Come along and pick up a flyer. If you've got any questions, say hello. Love to meet you. Thanks, guys.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Amanda. I'm from the Macquarie Abroad office. I'm here to talk to you about 2 different programs. Firstly, the study abroad and exchange students who are here at Macquarie University for 1 semester. I've heard already a few questions around the room. Cassie's designated some time at the end of this session for me to be able to respond to some of those questions, so I'd be happy to provide you with information then. The other part of our discussion this morning is around the student exchange program for degree-seeking Macquarie University students to go on exchange. So I'll go over some information about that program now and answer the incoming questions at the end of the session. So within your orientation packs that you'll receive at the end of the session, we'll have the Explore the Possibilities brochure for you to collect. This will have a lot of information about reasons why you should consider a student exchange program as part of your degree. It's pretty simple: travel and get credit. So many of the students who are in this room today are doing just that. They're internationalising their already international degree, and we encourage each of you to do the same. There will be a time in each of your degrees that's more suitable for you to participate on the program, so I'll go over a bit of that structure now. So each of our student exchange programs for outgoing students are credit bearing, and that credit is towards your Macquarie University degree. They can go over a full semester where you'll be required to study full-time at one of our partner universities abroad, or we also offer short-term programs. So I understand many of you in the room today are doing your postgraduate degree, and this is often the best option for master's students to still participate in an international experience. These programs run during the July and January vacation periods and are discipline specific, but also there's room for you to undertake your elective credits overseas. We do offer experiences in more than 60 countries around the world, in almost 200 partner universities, stretching across about 300 campuses globally. So where in the world can you go? Many of you have come from these destinations today, but we will encourage you to go to one of our partner universities overseas. Perhaps you would like to do a semester in Fiji or New Zealand, perhaps. We have partners across the Asia Pacific and also across the European region and the Americas. We have one partner in South Africa too. So preparation is the key for planning your exchange program within your degree. We, the Macquarie Abroad office, will provide some support throughout your application process. We also offer financial support for students. So for international students, the university is encouraging students to participate and providing mobility scholarships for eligible students. We assist in the planning, so we have information sessions throughout the semester. Those can be found on our website, which is on the back of the brochure you will receive today. The information sessions will go over general info about the program as well as regional specific. Once you've been nominated to participate on the program, there are a range of sessions to undertake, including the Getting Started session, the study plan session, which again will refine the units of study you will undertake overseas that will count towards your Macquarie degree, and the pre-departure session, which really helps you adjust or prepares you to adjust to the destination you're travelling to. While overseas, our partner universities have international offices set up very much like the Macquarie Abroad office, where a team of staff will be able to help you set up your life in that country, be it from accommodation, the orientation, everything that you're experiencing now. You'll get the same services at our partner universities overseas. The re-entry session is also a great way for you to then take your experience and really use that to help you progress in your career or perhaps in higher education if you would like to continue your studies. And so the two different workshops that we will run are to help support that experience. I'd now like to introduce Simon, who is from the Macquarie Abroad office. He's also a Macquarie University graduate, and I'll give him the opportunity now to tell you about his experience. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, Amanda. So good morning, everyone. So I know it has been a really long and early session for you, so I will try to do it as quick as possible. And I'm not going to say the program again because Amanda pretty much has covered everything. So I'm here to tell you about my experience as I used to be a Macquarie student, and I also went on exchange before. So yeah, I was in your seat back then 6 years ago. And and I was listening to all these things before. So I came to Macquarie University 6 years ago to do a bachelor in applied finance. And then I got scholarships and continue on master in international relationship. Master of international business. During my studies here at Macquarie, I was really lucky to be able to participate in exchange. As you can see, some photos here are from my exchange experience. So I went to California State University. Do we have anyone from the States in the building? Great, you are already my favorite students. I can tell you there are so many good things about exchange. I went on exchange, I study here, I have been working with Macquarie Abroad for almost 2 years. It has been a really long time. So basically my job every day is telling people how much I love my exchange experience, and I would love you to do the same thing. So before I applied for exchange, I received full support from our team. So we provide support like we can go through the destinations with you, where you can go, which university that you can apply for, and what units that you can do. Our program is actually offered to all students here at Macquarie. So if you're doing a bachelor degree or master degree or something like that, we are here to help. So we also organize compulsory sessions that you can attend that will help you to match the units overseas with the units here at Macquarie. In addition to that, we can always help you with your exchange applications, or if you have any questions about the host university, we are always there to help. The really good thing about our exchange program is that we are really generous in terms of scholarships. So when you apply for our program and eligible for our program, you may be able to apply for mobility scholarships, and it could be up to $4,000. And it's more than enough for you to cover your flight and a little bit of accommodation. So when I was on exchange, I can tell you it was the best time of my life. I met not only people from the host university or the host country, I also met people from different countries. So I met people from like France, from Germany, from like Europe, and I know for sure one day when I visit them, I at least have a couch to crash. Yeah, so as you can see here, that's a photo of me when I was at Coachella Music Festival. And of course, it was so much fun. Yeah, and I had my opportunities to visit other places like Vegas, New York, and yeah, as you know, living the California life. So most of you here would question why you have to go on exchange or do a study abroad when you already come to Australia as a study abroad or like full degree student. The question would be, why not? This is your chance to get back the money from the university, right? So this is also your chance to be more independent, to gain value for your degree. Less than 10%, I guess, students in Australia have international experience. So when you go for a job interview, or when you go for some kind of interview for an internship or something like that, if you can differentiate yourself from someone else because of your international experience, you will definitely get a job. Yeah, so upon my return, I realized I have become more independent, I have become more confident with myself, and I know what I want to do for my life, and I decided I should not do finance because I don't want to sit in front of computers, I want to talk to people, and I want to share this experience with you, and that's the reason why I'm working in international relations now. And exchange has gone beyond the academic experience. It shows me what I want to do, and also I learned a lot about myself, and I know what I want to do. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you to participate, and also come and talk to us. We have an advising office in C10A next to SDA Travel and Accommodation Office. We open 11 to 3 Monday to Friday, so you are welcome to drop by, have a chat. For whoever interested in more like a social society, we do have Macquarie, which is the community for return exchange students and new exchange students. So if you want to connect, please welcome to join Macquarie. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. So a few points here that I'd like to just re-mention is the fact that the student groups that Rob was talking to you about earlier, MacX is the name of the group for Macquarie exchange students, so get involved over the next couple of weeks and sign up to that student group. Our advising office is located down in the Campus Hub building, C10A, next to STA Travel and the Accommodation Office. Any of you at the end of this session, if you'd like to go down and speak with a member of our team, you can follow us down there and we can help you out today. And also for the students who are participating in Emily's Global Leadership program that she spoke to you just before, the student exchange experience can help contribute to your GLP program as well. So get involved, we complement each other's programs, so it's a really great opportunity to further internationalise your degree. As I said, I'll be around at the end of the session to answer any of your questions about your time here at Macquarie University as a study abroad or exchange student, and thank you for your time today.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura. I'm here to talk to you today about PACE International, which forms part of the PACE program, which is a flagship program at Macquarie University. So it's also an international, aspect to your degree, where you can travel overseas for a period of 4 to 12 weeks and get academic credit for it. As a postgraduate, you can also apply, and you'll be going just as a co-curricular student, so just for the sake of it, really. So PACE International is a collaboration between community organisations, the Australian Volunteers International, and Macquarie University's students, academics and professional staff. It's a key component in each student's undergraduate degree, and we're just offering the chance for you to do that overseas. So currently we have opportunities in India, Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines, Fiji, Indonesia, Peru and Cambodia, and they're offered 3 times during the year. So as I said, the aim of PACE International is for you to get international experience by working in a community development context overseas and gaining academic credit for it. So as part of your undergraduate degree, if you're staying here for your full degree, there'll be certain PACE units that you need to complete, and you can do these overseas. You can look at our website, it's pace.mq.edu.au, with a full list of all the units and where you can go overseas and what time of the year you can do it in. So as part of our PACE International process, we have an interview, an application form, an interview, and then we match you according to your skills and your degree to a partner organisation overseas where you'll be working. So that's, we then have an orientation process where we have preparatory sessions and pre-departure sessions. You'll have your experience from anywhere between 4 to 12 weeks, and then when you return, there's a debrief where we can learn about your experience and I guess focus on ways that we can improve the program for future students. So applications are now open. They'll close in 2 weeks on the 7th of August, and this is for the summer vacation period, so session 3, where our students can travel to places like India, Cambodia, Philippines, Vietnam, lots of different places. You need to have a GPA requirement of at least 2, and if you're doing it as a law subject, you need to have a GPA of 3, and you need to have completed 1 semester at Macquarie University. There is a project fee associated with it, and this covers things like accommodation, your airport transfers, some meals, health checks, and your in-country orientation. All students who apply to the program, whether they're international students or not, will receive a PACE grant, and that varies according to which country you go to. It can be anything from $1,400 to around $3,000. That will usually cover the cost of your flights and possibly a little bit more like with spending money. So I really encourage you all to apply. I guess it's a bit different to study abroad in that we offer it for a short period of time and you'll be working in a community development context. So you're actually working overseas with a company. Our students have worked with law agencies in Cambodia, in India. They've worked with child rights organisations. They've worked with human rights, with environmental conservation organisations. So very NGO route-based kind of organisations. So if that's kind of what you're interested in, or if you would really just like to get out in our lovely area, we have lots of opportunities for you to go to. So this is just a case study of some of our law students who went to Borneo to work with Pakos Trust, which is a native title organisation doing environmental law work. So they were there in 2013. They run every single year. And they were doing some really great work for them. So yeah, I really encourage you all to apply. Have a look at the website, pace.mq.edu.au. I have some flyers as well, and we're always available. We're running information sessions, so just check out the website for more information. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. So again, a lot of information there about the different opportunities. For some of you, you may not have to worry about those just yet, but it's important to know what the opportunities are and what's coming up. Oh, we've got a question. Are exchange students eligible for PACE projects? Yes, they are. Okay, so this is our final presentation. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for your attention this morning. And I'm so pleased to welcome up Anas, who's going to talk to you about security and safety on campus.
Hey everyone, good morning. My name's Ines. Thanks, Cassie. And I'm just here to talk to you quickly about security. I know you just all want to get up and just have a stretch, so I won't keep you. Please feel free to ask me any questions as I'm talking. So we're located on Macquarie Drive, guys, and we're right across the library. So if you haven't been out and about, I'm pretty sure you're going to spend a lot of time in the library. We're right across the road from there. So we're staffed 24 hours, 7 days a week. You'll notice that we've got patrol vehicles that patrol the perimeter of the campus just to ensure that property and people are safe, and we've got guards that also patrol on foot. I also bring with me one of our rovers. His name is Oddie. He's just sitting there. Thank you, Oddie. So Oddie is one of our staff as well, and you please feel free to approach security to say hello if you have a question or an emergency that you would like us to respond to. We've also got our emergency number there that I would all like you to take down. It's 9850 9999. So if you are calling from your mobile or your home number, of course you must put in the 9850, but you'll notice on campus there's telephones in hallways, in corridors. All you would need to do is put in the last 4 digits. Our other number at the top is 9850 7112, and that's our general inquiries number. I'll leave that up to you, what's an emergency and what's an inquiry, for which number for you to call. I just quickly put lost in there, just quickly talk to you about lost and found. So I'm not here actually to scare you. Our crime rate on campus is close to 0, but things do happen on campus, and we do have a lot of lost property that go missing, especially from the library. So I ask you, if you are sitting down and you're studying and you need to go for a stretch, you want to go to the bathroom, and you've left your stuff there to bags your seat so no one else can take it, please take your stuff with you, because I'll assure you that if you come back, your stuff is gone. We'll try our best to help you retrieve your items, but in some cases it's a bit hard for us to get the stuff because of the location or exactly what has happened. So I'll just give you a little example. A few weeks ago, we had a student went over to Macquarie Shopping Centre. She withdrew $3,000. She had the money in her backpack, which was in a wallet, went to the bathroom, came back, noticed that her bag was in the same spot. She went through her bag and the $3,000 were gone, and we weren't able to get it for her because in that certain area there was no CCTV. So in other words, guys, if your property is not in your sight, or our property is valuable, or does have money worth in there as well, keep it with you all the time. I'll quickly just touch on USB sticks. With USB sticks, we do have a lot that get returned to security, especially during exam time. We get a lot of students, their thesis are on their USB sticks and they can't find them. They'll come to me, I've got a USB stick, it's a 5 gig Sony, and I'll probably have about 10,000 of that description. So I ask everyone, once you get your USB stick and you get your student ID card, open up a little page in there, put your name, your number, and your student ID number, so that way when it comes, we can plug it in and give you a call to come and retrieve it. We're also first aid responders, so if you do have a medical emergency on campus, or any type of emergency, please give us a call on our 9999 number. We've got a shuttle bus. We all like, to catch a ride sometimes, especially now that it's getting dark quite early and it's really cold. So we offer a free shuttle bus service to all staff and students on campus. It starts Monday semester starts, and that operates from Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight. So if you go on our website, it's just there, mq.edu.au/security. You can download the bus timetable and the bus stops. So what it is, it goes all around campus. So if you're here, you've got a session, you want to go to the gym, you can hop on, see the timetable, what times the bus is going to come next, and what time it's going to drop you off at the gym. Okay, so it's a free service. I do ask everyone, once you hop onto the bus, please treat our security officers with respect. If you are intoxicated or you are being rude, we will ask you to leave the bus. Ladies, we also have an escort service. So if you're not feeling comfortable, walk into your car, or you're not feeling comfortable, walk into the building, doesn't matter day or night, please give us a call and we'll walk with you. I do tell everyone just to give us a call at least an hour prior, just so we don't delay you from where you need to go. We've also got parking. Who'll be driving to campus? A few hands up there. Well, it's a bit nasty parking on campus, but if you want to avoid the penalties, at the moment our infringements have gone up to $106. You must pay for parking. You buy a permit from the cashier's office, you put it on your windscreen, and you park in a white dotted bay. You'll notice the car parks have a white area, and also they have a yellow area. Wherever it's white and it says permit holders only, that's where I want you to park. The yellow areas are mainly restricted for emergency vehicles, unauthorised vehicles. I just want to talk to you quickly. I haven't got up there, but I'm pretty sure you all have my brochure, I think, in your information packs, or go on our website. We're having alerts, and I want you to all to listen to this. And I would like you to all register to alerts. We all heard about the siege that happened last year in Martin Place? Yeah? Yeah, there was a siege at Martin Place. We had some hostages there, and some people were actually dead, right? Unfortunately, I don't like to use that word. So on that day, we had 50 of our PACE students that were down at Martin Place. Because they were registered to alerts, we were able to send them a text message notifying them of the event and to evacuate the area. So if you go into our security website, just type in alerts and it'll come up. And all I ask for is one mobile number and one email address. So even on campus, or you might be going overseas as an exchange student, and there's an emergency happening there and you're registered to alert, we'll know where you are. I'll be able to send you a text saying what's the emergency and where probably the best locations for you to go. If we have a fire alarm in a building and you've registered to alert, I'll also send you a text message of your assembly area when it's safe to return back to the building. And if the building is closed, you also get a message saying the building is closed. Please make arrangements for the rest of the day, So please register to alert. It's for free, and it's at the end of the day. It's good for your safety and for you to be alerted on what's happening in your location. So normally I have local area command with me. Her name is Chancellor, but she can't come today, so I'm just going to quickly touch base on what she does. So at RIDE, we have 3 local area commands, and they are Gladesville, RIDE and Eastwood. The one closest to the university is Eastwood, and that's their number just there. So they've got their 3 numbers. We all watch a lot of TV, and we all think it's 911 when we come here, but it's actually 000. So we don't want you pressing 911, but if you do, don't be scared, it will still go to 000. So 000 is normally called in or threatening emergencies. Police assistance line are non-emergency, so that's 131 444. Okay, doing other people's presentations. So police assistance line is normally, so if you have a car accident, for an example, but no one's been injured, no one's been hurt, you're able to take details of the other person and you're not in danger, that's the number you call. A Crime Stoppers number, so if you want to report anything that's anonymous, like maybe a drug theft, there's someone's being probably picked on, there's a raid happening on the road, that's the number you should call, is 1800 333 000. I'm not really good at other people's presentations, so I'm sorry, Cassie. I just hope I've given you the right information about the police. Pretty much call 000 if there is life-threatening incidents. Anything else, please give us a call and our security numbers. Thanks everyone, and I hope you enjoy your stay at Macquarie.
So don't worry, we do have a lot of safety information in the welcome pack. So that's it for the session today. Now, we did have some questions for Amanda and the team, so would you like me to get them up to answer those questions now, or perhaps do you just want to come down the front and talk to them? Okay, we might wrap it up. So for those of you who don't know, those are the 2 orientation sites. So it's really easy, mq.edu.au/orientation. I just want to give you guys a big thank you for today. I do hope you enjoy your time here at Macquarie. And once again, we are all so excited to have you here. So for anyone with enrolment questions or looking for a place to live, we'll get you to come down to the front now. Everyone else, collect your welcome pack, and we look forward to seeing you back here for the barbecue at midday.